So, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming along tonight. We've got a lot of things to talk about. I think one of us, or one or two of us, have maybe got a rant about a couple of things that we have to talk about tonight. So tonight we've got the crew back. We've got myself, we've got Ben at North Cinematics, we've got Chris at Chris T Gaming Zone, and we've got Stealth Slicer. So, guys, say hello. You don't have to introduce yourself. They all know you are.
What's up, everyone?
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're staying safe.
Yeah, exactly. Stay safe. Hope you're keeping well. So tonight, I think, outlining some of the topics, we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk. We're going to be talking about one or two updates from Insurgency Sandstorm and Call of Duty. Maybe talk about the issues with Twitch at the moment, the words that they're actually banning. And what was the other thing that we're possibly going to talk about? Battlefield 6. And also the new law that apparently is coming out in America, where if you inadvertently stream something that you shouldn't be streaming, you could possibly go to jail. Should we start there, gents?
Is that confirmed as being approved, or is that merely on the table? Because I was believing it was merely on the table.
It's not. It's definitely not a law at the moment, but I forget the guy's name.
It sounded like it had gone through.
It's actually proposed as a bill for the United States.
Yeah.
So as of right now, it's like not introduced, but that jackass who wants to introduce this, he wants to make this real. So
is that the same jackass Chris that was actually paid by these companies he's now saying he professes to support? They were paying donations to his campaign. The same guy.
He was actually spotted receiving amounts from Comcast. So that's basically AT&T, Warner Bros., like all of the Hollywood garbage media. So
there it is.
Sure, we'll push that into the parliament, or however we call their garbage government.
Senate, they're going to pass it through the Senate. Yeah, and then I think it has to go through the House. I doubt it would go to law. They'd have to get a lot of backing. But I mean, if it did go into law, that'd be stupid.
What's going to happen here, if you ask me, is this is obviously Soper/Pippa Mark II. They failed first time. They obviously want another crack. There's no other way to describe it. And what's basically going to happen, if it gets so far as Senate and House, is the internet will do exactly what it did when Soper and Pippa turned up, which is bitch, moan, and raise all motherfucking hell. And then it will get dropped, because all of the senators will realize, shit, most of my voters use this thing called interweb.
Exactly.
My vote base is going away.
Of which it will, if you realistically think of it.
And so I say to you, good people of the internet, fucking rise up, lads. We've got round 2 coming on.
Yeah, like people already started bitching, so we got like Moist Critical. Sorry, Devlin.
Great.
Train wreck is already happening. Like a lot of big folks are just bitching about this bill they are proposing. So it for sure will destroy. Like they will destroy this bill proposed by dumbass.
Because Chris, in all fairness, it is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
It's a load of shit. Like imagine someone actually plays, like from mistake, a copyrighted song plays in the background. You're fucked. Or someone intentionally like plays a copyrighted song in your video.
Even on an advert. What happens then if in the background, not a particular advert that'll come up on the stream? What I'm saying is, because obviously that's been paid for. If, for argument's sake, say, like Shroud does it sometimes, he'll go and check about the internet, he'll check about web pages, possibly to support a streamer, because I know he does that sometimes. What if then they are playing it? It would come on it wouldn't really be his fault. And, how does it work? It's such a delicate...
This is the grey area, because you could say that what happened there is a paid advertisement, but equally, we all know how the law works, and we all know how American law works, which is put more holes in it than Swiss cheese, so you can get them for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good evening, Tacti.
Oh, we got Tacti.
Hey.
Tacti?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, cool. We got Tacti Gamer in. So Tetsy, so you're not one of the regulars. You're our guest tonight. Do you want to tell people who are watching or maybe watch later a little bit about yourself and your channel?
Yeah. Are you guys live right now?
We're live right now.
Oh, golly. I'm in the car, so I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise.
No, that's cool.
Okay. So a little about myself, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I just turned 30. Just turned the big 30. I am a YouTuber. I do first-person tactical shooters. More importantly, I'm a father, a dad, a Christian. I work as a therapist at a bunch of nursing homes.
Cool.
That's about it, man. I don't do a whole lot outside of that. We don't get out.
Can I have your permission to make one joke, please?
Yeah. Go
Bad
ahead.
words in my Christian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it was too good.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, so if people out there are going to watch the stream tonight, we usually have a few on the night, but we get more afterwards. It's Tacti Gamer. Look for him on YouTube. Subscribe to him like you've done with everyone else. Tacti Gamer, his channel is... I love Tacti Gamer. I think he's great. His videos are really good, and he's got one of the most soothing voices that you'll ever hear on the internet. But Tacti... Tonight, we're actually talking about, sorry to butt in, we're talking about Cyberpunk, the issue with Cyberpunk, the updates for Insurgency Sandstorm and Call of Duty. We're actually talking about bad words that have been banned off Twitch. And we're just now at the moment talking about the situation with the chap over. Are you American, Tati?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so apparently there's some chap over there who is actually trying to pass a bill to make law that if you are caught streaming, for argument's sake, copyrighted music, you could actually physically end up in jail. But the worst thing about it is that it's been noted that this guy actually has been paid for the people that he's supporting. They actually donated to his campaign, and we just don't think it's right over in the UK.
Can you give me a name? Because I don't know about this.
Actually, I don't know his name. I did actually see it, but
Google that.
one of the guys will probably get it.
I think he's a Republican senator.
Oh, is he?
There's no way.
I wouldn't have thought that.
All the Republicans paid off.
Thomas Tills? I think that's his name. Thom Tills, sorry.
Okay, let me look him up real quick. The name sounds familiar.
U.S. Senator.
I know his face.
Tills. He is.
Bosnian Babo, thanks for coming along tonight.
I'd like to also make an asterisk. It's not about the music. Like everything copyrighted can be like
anything.
So it's not only music.
I mean, that can be games too. Just regular.
Actually, it could. Any images, games, music. Products.
Games can ban erotic, or didn't they do that for him?
Yeah, that's right, and that was disgusting, to be honest.
Yeah, but they could do it because it's their art.
Yeah, so actually,
North Carolina, yeah, that's it.
Is he a Republican still?
Yeah, he's a
Shit, I find that hard to believe. In all fairness,
yeah, he's serving as the junior United States Senator for North Carolina since 2015.
Oh my God! So he's not just a new boy trying to make a name for himself.
Sorry, someone else.
No, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay, my guess. Now I know nothing about this, but my guess is if he's getting money from Twitch, is that what you said that he's getting?
No, he's actually so the companies that he's supposedly trying to and they actually donated to his campaign. It's all come out in the last couple of days.
So I guess I don't know how to take it. I mean, my guess, if you think about it, or if physically going to jail is just absolutely ridiculous. But at the same time, we have that Section 230 that protects platforms. So, and that's a whole nother issue that I don't even, that goes much deeper than what I know. But there's a the Section 230 law that protects things like Facebook and Twitter and Twitch, that basically it takes all of the responsibility off those companies, right?
The actual platform itself.
Yeah. So it takes them off there instead. If they were a publisher, then they would get in trouble. That's it. But so that's that's about all I know about it.
So what, Tacti, what are your thoughts about it? What, say for argument's sake, say this, he did get this bill through and it was considered to be law. We personally think it's ridiculous that someone could do this, but apparently it's a real thing. It could possibly happen.
So going to physical jail is just not, that's not reasonable at all. I can't imagine a Republican bill that puts you in jail for using licensed music. I think there can be other ways to deal with that, but gosh, I don't like just for putting music on a stream. I
exactly
see that getting past anything here.
I
agree.
Just before you jumped on, Tacti, I actually was saying that this just looks like Soper and Pippa Mark II. And I basically said that one thing will come to another, and if it does get as far as actually being put to the Senate and the House, the internet will do what the internet did last time.
I go mental.
Suddenly, all the senators will realize, shit, I've heard of that internet place. It's where a lot of my supporters live. If I piss them off, I won't get votes.
Well, that's it.
Exactly.
I honestly don't see it getting through. I see it going through the machine of government and being, put forward, but I don't see it getting any further.
How would you enforce it though? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. The
way you would enforce it is essentially the flytrap method. You just wait for it to happen. You just lurk and lurk and lurk, and eventually someone will do it. And then you will snap them.
How many people would go to jail over this? That would be crazy. I feel like people wouldn't go to jail. Maybe about fines, I could see, possibly.
That's the thing, though. You always set the punishment higher than what you want.
Yeah.
So,
but don't you think when it initially happens, though, that they might think we've got to make an example here to show people that this really could happen and we're going to do it?
If it got through, for argument's sake, that will happen because that's how it works. What will happen is you will have someone who will have a minorish infraction, but is a big enough name that, they carry weight.
That's the one we'll have.
They will get made an example of. And so other people will either, shy away from it, or everyone who comes afterwards, there'll be a revision. And it'll be a case of, okay, well, if you pay us an absurd amount of money for a license to use this, we'll let it go.
Yeah.
It will be used as a stepping stone to get something much more reasonable, because that's how all of this happens.
Which is even so. It's insane to me because if you buy a Spotify subscription, like you are using that music, like you are paying for that music, right? And so why in the world would you not be able to? Like I pay for Epidemic Sound, right? I pay to use that music. Why in the world wouldn't that be? Couldn't I use those on stream or in a video or something? If in a sense, I
think it's because you're streaming it to other people that don't.
Yeah, I think that's that. That's. But how could they prove that? How could they not say, well, you show me those people that I'm playing this music to have not. They don't have the right to listen to this music because they own a copy. I don't know how you could police it. Just want to say, Mr. Cheeky, thanks a lot for coming along. Please don't do that if you're in America if and when they pass the law. I don't want to be responsible for one of my streams and you getting fined or going to jail. But yeah, so the thoughts there at the end of the day. But in general, I don't think anyone's going to agree with this because I obviously don't want to stay on this too long. It's not the main subject. So I'll probably go over to Chris because I think Chris wanted to say one or two things about Cyberpunk, especially it now being totally dropped from the PlayStation store. You cannot get it and the refund debacle. So Chris, your experience with Cyberpunk?
It's a complete train wreck. Like I got a fucking 3080. I go in the city and I have like 50 FPS. So
It's not good.
CDPR, what the fuck is this garbage? What the fuck is this garbage? Like, don't get me wrong, this is just PC. Imagine folks on PlayStation 4, which it still has hard drives, and it has SATA too, so that's basically 3 gigabytes per second streaming. So I was seeing some footage on the internet. Dude approached to like an NPC. He had no face. He was straight up of like, I think Tomb Raider, like 90s or something. That was like
Right.
awful to witness. So constant textures pop up. I think this thingy is like from PlayStation 3, Battlefield 4, because Battlefield 4 on PlayStation 3 was a complete train wreck, and it's basically cosplaying this for PlayStation 4. It's seriously a disaster. I expected a lot more from CDPR. I understand that this thing was rushed, but holy fuck.
Because they're a decent company. And look, Chris, I've got to disagree, mate. The last thing it was rushed.
I was going to say.
Do you know what I mean?
God. Oh,
You see a message, and you don't even have to read it when it's got that yellow background.
Oh, that's
No, exactly.
amazing.
It's amazing. I love it.
I feel sorry for you, Mr. Cheeky, if you've got it on Xbox One. Apparently, it's not as apparently it's not as bad on the Xbox as it is on the PS4. But you'll have to play it and let us know, mate. Let us know how it works out for you.
It looks shit.
The stablest
I know, Minecraft.
version out of past gens, like the stablest versions out of all past gens, is right on Xbox because it has the GPU. The CPU is still fucking garbage because it's AMD, like first gen HyperX or HyperX, yes, FX processors, so they are complete garbage. But it has a GPU to hold the game. But like taking the hours, like even PS4 Pro, like 15 FPS in the city. Excuse me, like
That's
how this
madness.
shit was even shipped to like Sony accepted this build as a retail. Seriously.
But this is it. So Sony are really strict, Chris. I can't understand it because Sony will not let a game on their platform unless it's pretty much perfect. There is glitches and there is problems and there is things that you'll get afterwards. But I've never played it, so I can't say. I've just obviously I like to keep up on what's going on, and apparently it really is, quoting Chris, an absolute train wreck on the consoles.
Oh yeah, terrible. I can't believe they even got past, like, however that even got certified to even be put on those current gen.
Exactly.
People that are defending this are saying, well, it's old hardware. I get that, but why would you even release it on those platforms? It should never have come on those platforms.
No, not a game like that. No, not even that state, Ben. That game should it should never ever have come on last gen consoles because it was never going to work. And the problem is, I think they knew that, and that's why they're so quick to offer refunds.
That's why they were basically DMCAing everything. Because remember, when Cyberpunk leaked, it was actually the PS4 version, so that was like the worst version out of them all. So, like they were hiding all this shit under the rug, you know.
Shit. So, Tati, is that a sort of game you'd play, Cyberpunk? Is it your genre?
It is not. It is not. Definitely
Same
not
here.
genre. I've shown no interest in it. The thing I find very interesting is that I guess they were so quick to refund. I mean, I get that it doesn't run, but
Yeah.
at least maybe give them a chance to patch it. I mean, because when PUBG came out, it was awful, right?
It was a mess. Yeah.
Frames per second. I played Fallout 4 on the original Xbox, and you walk into Boston and you get 15 FPS. So I think the hype is the biggest thing that.
But Tati, doesn't that show that they're guilty though? The fact that they're just rushing out to refund.
I think they knew. Bottom line is, I think they knew.
Yeah. That is true.
It shows that they're just guilty. Like, you wouldn't offer refunds like that if you were happy with your product.
Not that bloody quick.
Yeah, happy with your product that you're putting out, and you just go boom, refund straight away. It's like they knew what was wrong with this game, and the fact that they were even saying that no one can capture footage of that console version, like they wouldn't let any of that, especially console footage. They wouldn't let
Exactly
show that footage, and obviously we know why, because it looks. I mean, terrible.
Cheers, Scott Jordan.
Yeah, the Sky Jordan.
Ha, Jordan.
The suppression of the footage is just the nail in the coffin. Really, I can understand prior to release. But post-release, nah, fuck off. You're hiding something at that point.
But is it me, or is it true it's just for the PlayStation? Is it refunds just for the PlayStation? Which therefore
Xbox said recently they've just come out with a tweet saying we'll give you a refund as well on if you
okay,
the digital version.
Okay.
You can get a refund. So fair enough, they've done it for Xbox.
I just thought it was a PlayStation. Therefore, thinking that the issue was just primarily on a PlayStation.
No, it's Xbox have finally come out and said we'll give it
universal.
you. Yeah. So
those suits, those business suits, those names.
Don't.
In this industry, like shame on them for rushing Cyberpunk. They released the reveal date. They reveal the date of the release. Fuck those idiots for rushing this product. Cyberpunk is the genre which I enjoy the most, and because of some fucking assholes who want money, we lost a great game. Fuck you.
Well, I think this time, in all fairness, Chris, I do think this time. I mean, look at No Man's Sky. It was an absolute mess when it came out. Apparently, it's an awesome game.
Can I just say it is actually good though on PC? If you have the hardware, it is actually a really good game, and it does look really good on PC.
But Chris was going on his 3080, only getting like 40 frames a second or something.
I think some people have had varied experience. Like if your experience is really good and your frame rates is decent, like the experience is amazing. Like when it works and you don't get all the bugs, it is a good game. But
so have you had a decent experience on it, Ben?
To be fair, everyone else keeps talking about the bugs and stuff. In all fairness, I haven't had that many bugs. The only ones that I've had are like minor ones where sort of people will talk over each other, like the AI will start talking over each other in a phone call. But other than that, it's been pretty solid. And like I'm looking at everyone and going, what? These bugs? It's like I'm like, oh, it's pretty amazing for me. Like at the moment, I'd give it a 9 or a 10 because my experience has been really good. And I think
for your own experience, though, and what you've experienced only on the PC, right? Okay, because there's a lot of people out there on the consoles just saying it's an absolute mess.
I was actually going to say I find your point completely valid, Ben, but I think the other thing we have to remember is that PC can be fine because a PC can be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
An Xbox or a PS4 is a set of specs.
Mm-hmm.
So if it can't run on those specs, why are you building it in that way?
No, I agree.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
So I think we've finished up with CG Project and Cyberpunk. Bottom line, it's a mess. Ben has had a good experience with the game. Got to disagree, Chris. I don't think it was rushed. They've had so many years that it could have come out with. Maybe they shouldn't have rushed the release at the time and just held back. But I think they've had ample time to get the game right.
I work with like game developers, so they had like a pre-production for about 4 years. Let's say maybe 5.
Yeah. Okay.
They cover like all of the footage. And if you like take 5 years from 2014 to 2018, that's basically 5 years.
Yeah.
And like from 2018 to 2022 years of like developing the product.
To be fair, I think we also have to consider something as well regarding that time period. The last 10 years, we have seen a lot of development in terms of hardware
and software and
just the whole shebang. Basically, we've come from, I don't know, argument's sake, let's say Halo Reach or something slightly after 2010. I know look nice for the time. Look at it now.
Not so good.
That I feel is a valid comparison of just how far we've come in the past decade.
Within that time. So they've been playing catch up, I suppose, developing the game. I don't know about game development. I know a little bit about coding, but so in theory, you are developing a game. It's going to be this brilliant thing that Chris expected, a lot of people expected, but in effect, they're taking sort of, you're like a drunk man. You're taking one step forward and 3 steps back because new hardware's come out. You've got to adapt to that. So I do understand that they have issues with, the actual development of the game. I think 7 years is an awful long time, though.
It's an incredibly long development cycle. Few games companies could get away with that because your publisher will be going, I'm waiting for you to give me.
Yeah, I want my money back.
Money, exactly. I want the money. So, in all fairness, 7 years. It's a long time to. I'm surprised they even got that much time. Yeah, I'm surprised. They must be so angry though with CD Projekt Red. They're like, "What have you been doing for 7 years?"
Decent company though, CG Projekt Red. Decent company. Decent company.
I would definitely say for my closing point on this would be, I think whatever happened was we invested in CG Projekt Red as opposed to in Cyberpunk.
To the actual game itself,
I think people need to differentiate CDPR and Cyberpunk, because at the end of the day, yes, they're the devs for it, but yes, they give us the fucking Witcher series. They have given us good stuff.
Decent stuff.
They have a slip up. It's not great, but I mean that's not going to sink the company's sort of public relations and such.
I still think it's a good game. But it could have been better. And I think it's all down to the experience you had as well. Like I get
personal experience.
It's personal, like some people are saying 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like even game reviews are saying 10 out of 10 because their experience has been good. But when your experience is terrible, and you got tons of bugs, it's shit. Like some of the stuff I've seen, it is like a 4 or a 5 out of 10 because it's not the game that they hope for. But when it works, it is good.
So, Chris, your expert. Let's finish off with Chris and about Cyberpunk. So, your overall experience of the game, because I know you were probably the most excited about the game. So, Chris, your overall sort of thoughts on your personal experience of the game.
So, just to get this straight out, the graphics are just amazing. Don't get me wrong, the game ultra settings is just fucking nuts. This is the true next gen we've been waiting for a long while.
But because you see nuts.
Yeah. I think the words you're searching for, Chris, is casual flex.
Casual flex. No, but seriously, even on the 2070, which I had, that game looks at medium settings. It looks like Ultra on Battlefield 1. So,
does it? And that was a beautiful looking game.
It's one of the best games I've ever seen. It's crazy.
The graphics are just beautiful. I'm just complaining about the bugs because I had police cars vanish and they were just like policemen existing in invisible box. I was passing by with a car and they jumped on me. They entered my car.
Shit.
Oh, what the hell just happened? Also, machines. Some machines spawned in the walls. Cops can spawn in the walls. And the most annoying thing is when you summon the car, it usually can spawn inside another car. So when you approach it, everything blows up.
Great.
Some insanity. But
so, Chris, how long do you think they realistically need to start out this game? Is it 12 months? Is it 18 months? Did they delay it for 2 years? I don't know. Chris, how long do you think they need to sort this game out to get it into a state where it's playable and looks as good as what you're just explaining?
I think in 2021, they will be able to pull this thing off, patch it up completely. But we won't see the cut features, such as the train, the customizable, the cutscenes. We lost the cutscenes from those things. A lot of things were cut out. I don't think we'll ever see them again, but maybe they'll add them in the future, like Witcher. Who knows?
Okay, so go on, Stealth. Go on.
I mean, you think about it. We've had plenty of games that have had good releases and bad releases, and that next year is usually critical as to how they'll turn out. A lot of them will go from strength to strength. A few of them will just rapidly go downhill, looking at you, NWI. And a few
Oh, dear. We're not there yet, Stealth. We're not on that subject yet.
I'll rein myself in. But a few of them will take a bit longer, but generally I find that it's within a year you'll figure out if a game is on track to be something good,
Okay.
if it's staying still, or if it's going downhill.
Cool. So can we go over to Insurgency Sandstorm? Right. Okay. I'm not gonna slag. Right before we start, I am still a fan of the game, but I think that the last update was atrocious. They have done a 180, but I think again I'm going to go to Chris first because I know he was wanting to have a rant about this, and then just before he had his rant, they actually did the 180 and reverted back to what the community wanted. I've got my own thoughts on this. So, Chris, I'm going to ask you what they originally did, and they've obviously reverted back to what the community wanted. Was it a mistake what they originally did?
So to get this thing, the information shared to everyone, Insurgency Sandstorm in 1.9 update wanted to like do a merge with co-op and versus equipment. So they wanted to like split a database. So you had the game for nearly 3 years now, out with all of that content in co-op. So just when everything started to spawn, I was complaining about lacking content. So here, have some guns, have something interesting, at least introduce something. Yours truly, NW, I decided to Thanos, like everything related to the content. I was whining about this problem since 2018. And now in 2020, they decided to just cut out content out of a game. So, excuse me, what the hell was that garbage I witnessed? I'm glad they reversed this moronic decision. I get the idea. But once they implemented the update, just like I said in my video, they like have a newer build in the city and they have like an old one in the retail build. And when they merge it, like everything goes tits up. So basically, even if you had like all of the guns, tweaked in versus, when you
Sure.
switched to co-op, they didn't synchronize. So you had like different guns anyways. So the idea of like having the same equipment in different modes just lost purpose. Like that thing, it didn't work. So why the hell are you just splitting up this?
And I don't actually know why they did it in the first place, but I'm going to pop over to Tacti if he's still there, but I think I can still him in the background there. So Tacti, the latest update, they removed a lot of stuff from the game. They tried to merge two sort of game modes into the same thing, but like we were talking just before we came live, that the most played part of the game is co-op. I mean, we all play co-op when we're streaming. So what they actually did, and obviously they did a 180 on it and they reverted it back. Do you think that was the right thing to do, or have you got any views on why they did it, or what was their reasoning behind it?
Well, I suppose I have a theory, because if my theory is that it had to do with their microtransactions. So I think a lot of their decisions.
Don't go there.
No.
I think a lot of their decisions going forward is going towards a console release, right? I mean, I feel like they're trying to capitalize it enough to really reach a console base, because I think that's where their future is, especially if they're working on something else here, right? So I think their idea was that they wanted people to want to play with certain guns. Since co-op is the most played, they wanted people to want to play with certain guns so that they can maybe sell a few more insurgent skins. Right?
Yes.
If you're not playing as an insurgent, you're not going to want to get those skins. It doesn't matter to you. So, I mean, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, because I see their perspective on it. I don't have an opinion, honestly, either way. It's their company. It sucks, I guess, if you really want. I don't care about skins. So
I don't. Neither do I. But if I did, I'd want them done correctly.
Yeah, they're not done very.
Yep.
I think that's a very interesting voice.
I actually thought that, Stealth, but go on. Yeah.
Because, the way I read into this is similar to several posts that I saw on Reddit, which was after way back when we used to be able to pick, I want to play co-op security or I want to play co-op insurgents. After that, they gave us the map vote system. And since then, it's been heavily weighted towards security. But that was okay, because we could still use our weapon customizations and things like that because we had access to all weapons. And what I find particularly interesting about the point that you make is that by splitting the weapon sets between security and insurgent, and the fact that insurgent is played a significantly lower amount of time, that voids a lot of your potential cosmetic purchases. And quite a few people I saw around the interwebs were actually saying this. Like, I bought XYZ for my insurgent character, and because we don't play insurgents, I make do with using the guns on security or whatever. Now I can't even do that. So you're essentially taking my money and giving me nothing. That was the opinion that I saw, and I find it very interesting because I can see what you're getting at, definitely. But I think my opinion's more on the side of, I've bought something and now you're taking it away from me.
Which the way initially looked that way.
Yeah, it certainly does. And I don't really understand why they did it, because it was never put to the community. And NWI has commented before that co-op is the more played game mode.
Because it is. I mean, the bottom line is, it is.
People do play co-op. That's simple.
Yeah. And then just when chili hemoglobin comes out, they're just like, no.
Well, but even when they did say that they would listen to the community, like with that death cam,
oh, don't get me started.
They basically said, so, I mean, maybe they just wanted to avoid that, because they were, with that death cam, they're like, well, 2/3 don't care or want it, when there's still 2/3 that do care and don't care, right? So I don't know. Just seems...
I've got to apologize, Tacti, but you fucking set me off. I do apologize. So
okay.
let me paint a picture for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Stealth is unhappy, by the way.
Fellas, I'm gonna have to check the rest of this later. I'm just pulling into my house here.
Cool, no worries.
I do have to go.
No worries, man.
But
all right.
I appreciate
Nice to hear you, man.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, Taxi. We'll definitely want you back.
Get you back.
For sure, fellas. I'll try to be back next week. We'll see what we can work out.
Cheers, Tacti. Don't forget to subscribe to Tacti Gamer on YouTube. Search him out, find him, subscribe to him. Great content.
See you later, man.
Thanks, fellas.
Cheers.
I'll see you later.
Cheers. Really nice guy. I don't know what you think. Really nice guy, Tacti Gamer. I've been speaking to the guy for quite a while. I actually got in contact with him because of Insurgency Sandstorm. He was doing one about there's not a lot of people not playing the game, but when he was searching, he was saying, oh, the most views people are getting is 3,000, 4,000. And it was my video that came up, the first one. So I contacted him, and what?
I remember seeing your video.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I saw your. He came recommend. Did it? Was he like in your video? He saw.
No, I was in his video. He did a video, and he was saying, "Look, if you search for Insurgency Sandstorm, there's only like 3,000, 4,000 views." And mine was the top one. I thought, oh, mate. But what a lovely, nice guy.
Get him back, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
He's genuinely good to talk to, and I think the nice thing about it is what we were just getting into there. Opposing viewpoints, but we were able to debate it properly. It wasn't just a
Exactly.
No. We were able to
Yeah,
back
exactly.
it.
Yeah, decent guy.
But as I was about to say, Insurgency Sandstorm has Killcam come out, and we ran.
Apparently, it's not a kill cam; it's a death cam stealth. Hold your fucking horses there, mate.
The eternal sleep pointy look camera comes out, and we tell them this is bullshit. And we tell them all the way up to chili hemoglobin. This happens, and then NWI has the absolute gall to put out a fucking statement that they put out when they reverted it, and they said, I'm paraphrasing here, it's not the words, I don't care to look at it again. The decisions we make, and that's
Misinformation.
to us.
Oh,
As I said, I am paraphrasing. The There's decisions that sound good to us and make sense to us don't always resonate with the community.
No,
When
that's
they don't,
right.
we make our
Yeah, you
efforts
got
to
that
put
one
things right. Fuck off, Insurgency Sandstorm. Fuck
Mate,
off.
all they've
Right,
been
where you
doing is
going?
wrong
Don't-
decisions. Well, that's what they've been doing.
Don't stab me in the back and say I'm sorry about that and try and put my fucking coat back on.
Yeah, can I take it back out again?
Yeah, it's like
Does it still hurt? Yeah, it fucking still hurts.
don't pretend to care about me because I know that you do not.
No.
And I won't even paraphrase. I'll tell you exactly what I say in my videos. NWI care about NWI.
They care about money and getting paid.
Well,
They do now. I don't even. They have, and it's probably can get nothing but worse. And I'm not disrespecting the people who bought them out or Saber Interactive. I'm not dissing them in any way whatsoever, because I know these are a company. They go to want more money, but it is going to get worse because they have now been bought out. 100% been bought out.
I think another thing that I would rush to add to that is anyone who has bought cosmetics or anything like that, it's not a jab against those people either. Those people have a right to enjoy what they want to enjoy, and if it's a purchasable content, it's purchasable content. Go do it. All the power to you. But when a company is basing themselves on such shitty practice and is still just cranking this out,
Because stealth, I'm sorry to say, mate, that is their model. I said this
exactly, yes.
9-10 months ago. I'm afraid. I said to everyone, I'm afraid this is going to be the new model of NWI.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I am in complete agreement with you, but what I'm saying is, hate NWI, not the people for buying it, because they have a right to enjoy that game however they want to, because we love that game. And we love it how we want to love it. If they want to love it wearing skull masks and fucking
I think Ben's going to come in soon.
I was just going to say some of the cosmetics that they've added are shit. Like, it was never the game that we played.
You can't, honestly, I agree with you, Ben. You can't even be nice about it, can you? They're just shit.
They're just shit. Like, I understand Stealth's point as well about, you can enjoy the game however you want and you can buy the cosmetics, but I don't feel, well, maybe it's just me, but the cosmetics that I want to see are more grounded in reality. Some of the shit that I've seen that they're pushing as well, and they've got more cosmetics that they've tried to push in the game because they were trying to reach out to other companies to try and get deals with them.
Like fucking Champion. What the fuck? Right, NWI, can I tell you something? NWI, it might look cool putting Champion on your new skins and that. Champion, NWI, Google Chav. Because Chavs in Britain wear Champion products. It comes from a store called JD Sports, and they sell Slazenger Gola football boots, and they sell Champion. NWI, that was a real shoot in the foot, to be honest.
They go in there, they want to team up with companies and try and get more merchandise they're doing now as well.
It's ridiculous.
And I feel like we need to push back in a way. Like I wish more people, because I see console players, and even the console players are saying in the videos, going, God, this isn't the game that I was watching previously. This is nothing like it. I don't want this
Yeah.
yeah.
Newcastle said, I think he's one of your subs as well, Ben. I think he's one of Chris's as well, actually. Newcastle said, have they had added a gender neutral soldier yet? It's on its way. That's a skeleton one. That's a skeleton one.
It's on its way, Newcastle. Yeah.
Oh, Jakob's back. Thanks, mate. Really nice to see you. He said, femboy gender option. Fucking hell.
You want to know how to say Jakob's second name?
Jacob, can you please? We've talked about this offline. Is it Jacob? I call you Jacob. What can you? Right. Karolch. Right, Chris. What's that say, mate?
For fuck's sake. There it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Jakub Karolczyk.
Karolczyk.
Mate, if I butchered your name.
See Chris showing off there. Oh, it's easy. It's Karolczyk.
Karolczyk.
Is it Jacob though, Chris, or is it Jacob?
It's Jakub.
Hey, I got that bit. I got that bit.
Polish or Czech. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I'm just trying to spell it.
Fair enough.
Well, at least we got that dealt with, Stealth. Do you feel a lot better now, mate?
Yes, I feel satisfied. That's me, guys. This is Stealth Slicer.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ah, yes.
So can I give my views on what I thought of when, because I was disappointed when Insurgency Sandstorm. I'm fucking slurring already. Insurgency I do that on the videos, and I think, you know what, I'm just going to let it go this one, because I actually, Jakob, don't bother with my surname. So Insurgency Sandstorm. My problem was with that initially was the fact that they removed so much, and the way they sort of reorganized co-op. The fact was that the 180, this is what did my head in, is the fact that they listened to the PC community, because that's the only community they've got at the moment, and they have therefore never listened to the console community. That's my issue, because soon as a PC community, albeit coming out on Reddit or whatever, they did a 180 straight away.
Yeah.
And they've given.
They can't do it. They can't answer the console's questions or anything, because we think that they're not ready, are they? They haven't got the console.
They've gotten, well, I think I said in one of my recent videos, they can't answer because they have got nothing. They can't now, and this is what I think all of us, in all fairness, have been saying. They're going to get to that point where they can't turn around and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's not coming out," because it's gone past that line.
Yeah,
they should have done this a long time ago and just spoke to them. And by the way, we're all PC players. The amount of times I get, you're a fucking console sweat, and you buy a PC. I'm a PC player, boys. Girls, so is everyone here?
No, not Tactical Brit. That guy said.
Oh yeah. It was Stealth.
Stealth is Tactical Brit.
He told me to just go buy the game on PC. I was like, I own the game. I'm a PC player, but
exactly
mentality as well.
You know what? If you want to play the game, go and buy a PC. Yeah, I'm going to play a 25 quid. I'm going to buy a 1,500 quid PC to pay a 25 quid game. Got to fuck, you freak.
Oh god.
Fucking idiot.
That's why the PCs are always the best. They have exclusives like Insurgency Sandstorm.
But it is. But Chris, you wouldn't turn round. Chris, in all fairness, you wouldn't turn round and say for argument's sake, we're all playing Sandstorm and we have a friend. You wouldn't turn round to your friend, or you wouldn't turn round to someone in the street and say, "Look, shut up. If you want to play the game, go and buy a PC for a 25 quid game." Would you? No, exactly. And this is a guy with like hundreds of thousands of subs. And that's what he said on one of Ben's comments. Someone was saying about the console, and he said, basically, if you want to play the game, go and buy a PC. You fucking idiot.
Fucking retard.
I don't particularly understand the mentality of that, so I'm just going to gloss over it, really. It's just acting a bit shitty.
Yeah.
I mean,
can I just say there's no such thing as PC Elite? No such thing.
No, it doesn't exist.
Play whatever you want. Like, I don't care.
Exactly. We're all fucking gamers, guys. We're all gamers.
Gamers.
Gay.
Yeah, I know. Well,
someone is gonna sound clip North just saying we're all gay.
I know, yeah. I know.
I bet
to a YMCA video.
We're all gay.
Jakob, make some calls, get it to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gee.
So can we move on? I know there's not all of us play Call of Duty. I actually play Call of Duty, but they had an update recently. I wanted to, talk about the good and bad things about the new update. Now, initially, I was really looking forward to it, but on day one, literally day one, soon as it was finished, I was excited because I'm actually getting into Call of Duty at the moment for my casual part of Devlin. Just, a couple of hours running and gunning. So when they released the update, honestly, literally, you couldn't get on. I don't know if you've seen my last video. There was this error message that kept coming on. So you'd start a game, you would get into the game to the point of where the cutscene started, and then it put you back to the main menu. They did patch it about 2.5, 3 hours later. But I don't know if it's just me, Stealth. I know you're a software sort of dev, but do you guys not check this before you would put it out in the wild?
Yes,
Exactly.
we do, and it's really ironic that you actually mentioned this because I had a very similar thing actually happen to me at work today. I can't go into the specifics, of course, because it's
Sure.
my work. But essentially, what happened was when we deployed, as part of our deployment, some of the files that got out there were old, not through a fault of our own, but because of when we write source code, that is depending on what tools and what technologies you use, that is then compiled down to machine code, etc. And what had happened is due to a unknown fuckery happening, some of those files had not been compiled down, basically. So what was pushed
Is that not a fundamental thing?
It is. It should work. But me and two other seniors spent better part of 2-3 hours trying to figure out what the fuck was causing it. And all we could come back with is, don't know, it's something in the actual technology we're using. It's not something we can get at. But essentially what happened was, hello there, laddie, how is you? You there, lad?
Yes, I am, right?
Fuck, I don't know what's happening with him. I can see the green ring, but he's not speaking. He's not coming through.
What are we talking about here?
Who are you talking to? Who's here? Our other guest for tonight is here.
Who you talking to? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's Howard.
Essentially, what happened today was a case of
Jesus.
some files didn't go live and it broke some things. And the bottom line is, yeah, sometimes shit happens and you don't know why it's happened, and all you can do is go, well, fuck, we better jump on this.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's probably why it got fixed in 3 hours. You probably had several seniors fucking shit.
Going off the tits.
Yeah.
Oh,
honestly,
Jesus.
when a live issue comes up in any respectable company, the first thing that happens is your dev manager or one of your high-ranking seniors gets given it and goes, fuck me. They immediately run to whoever's involved and go, lads, we need to do something about this. And that's literally
I think they might be a bit more severe than that. Come on, lads, let's get this right.
In your own time.
I put that across very likely because
Are you still on your break?
Am I interrupting you?
Where it actually
Oh, yes.
fucking one company I was at, some shit happened because someone fucked something up. And I shit you not, I was the guy who found out that our original environment was also screwed. So we had no backup.
Shit.
And I basically went into the break room where everyone was doing an emergency meeting of what the fuck do we do? And I just went, the backup is fucked. Everyone went silent and just fucking looked around and was like, shit, what do we fucking do? Less than 2 minutes later, we were all at our fucking PCs furiously trying to figure out the problem. But hey ho, it all depends on your company.
But you got there in the end.
Yes, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes shit happens. How quickly you recover from that depends on, one, what resources you have available, and two, what the problem is. Because
But Stealth, a company that big, they released something that literally all their PC players could not play the new update.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Devlin. If something like that made it through any reasonable amount of testing, quality assurance,
Quality control, yeah.
etc., etc. If it's something that fundamentally breaks the game like that, it would not allow them to actually progress with any of their testing once it's in. So it was either the last thing that went in and it was just never tested, or it was not an issue during testing. Because you can get things that do come up when you actually put them out there. Like, as I said, with my day-to-day, we had some files that just never deployed. Why? No idea. Ghost in the machine.
Shit.
Some
And
things just happen.
Anyway, Howard, are you there, mate? Are you using your new mic? We didn't know exactly who it was at the beginning. So, Howard Hopkins, are you there? Or are you eating your dinner? Obviously not. Newcastle, yes. I don't want to go back on an old topic, but Newcastle said he had a group of 30 people on a Rainbow Six group on PS4, and they were all waiting for Sandstorm. Sorry to go back to it. Waiting for Sandstorm, and now basically they can't be asked because of everything that's gone on. So that's only 30 people from one person that watches our videos. I think he's a sub of Chris, is a sub of yours, is sub of mine. Not sure if it's a sub of yours, Stealth. But that's only one guy who associates with 30 other people that are not buying the game because of the way they acted. Anyway, that's Sandstorm done with. Let's
Battlefield 6, we could go on to in a bit if you want.
we could, I mean, we could do, but what I'm going to say, can I just say, Cold War, there's the new map. I know a lot of people don't like it, and I know it's a rehash of the
Black Ops.
no, what's the
Seriously?
prison island? I can't even think of it. Alcatraz. It's a remake of Alcatraz, and it's like Warzone with just 50 players. You know what? That's a lot of fun. If you want to play the game, you want to play Warzone and you want to get in the action straight away, kill people, have a decent game, I'd suggest go and play that game. And there's also a part of the game is the fact that if one or all of your teammates are still alive, you can spawn back in till obviously the end circle, and then you either win or lose. But yeah, skill-based matchmaking in the game is actually atrocious. That's probably pretty much all I want to say about that. So, sorry, Ben, where did you say you wanted to go?
I was going to say Battlefield 6, but when you
Yes.
said about skill-based matchmaking, because I've been playing Black Ops Cold War today.
Oh, did you see it? Did you experience it?
Well, I've only played about 4 or 5 games at the moment because they've got a free week at the moment. So
All right, okay. Stealth, get on it.
it's running until the 24th of December.
Stealth, get on it.
Yeah, so download it if you haven't got it yet. And I had a few games today, and I enjoyed it, to be fair. It was quite fun. I had a couple of games on Nuketown.
Yeah, that's actually quite dead. First time I've ever played Nuketown was a few days ago. Ever played on Nuketown. I went 30 and 14.
Not too bad.
30 and 12, actually.
Well, that's pretty decent. Yeah, I haven't noticed the skill-based matchmaking yet.
It will.
Again, I've only
It
played
will.
4 or 5 games, but I did play the beta or the beta. Whatever.
Actually, if you're having a game tomorrow, Ben, if you're having a game tomorrow, I'll come on with you. I'll join you because you'll be getting the not skill-based matchmaking yet.
Well, there you go.
I'll reverse boost with you.
I'm telling that to me.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Sure, do it. Devil will just get
I
praised.
thought you didn't.
I know.
Right, before we go any
I
further,
thought you quit enjoying games, everyone.
Go on, Stack T. Stack T? Stealth. Tack T and Stack T.
well, I mean, we are the same person apparently. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly grab a drink before we go any further. I was gonna say, do we want to get Howard's mic working? But it looks like his mic is working.
Is it working?
Yeah, we can hear you, buddy. Oh,
You're on the airwaves. You're on the airwaves.
You have to keep speaking, Howard. Don't leave any gaps. Are you there?
Messing with the microphone, trying to get it closer.
Okay, that sounds better. That sounds quite good.
Yeah.
You've got to keep talking. We don't need any bare space.
Dead air.
So, Chris, what did you say you've downloaded Cold War again?
Not. I'm not buying it. I'm not downloading.
It's free. It's free this weekend.
Damn it, it's Call of Duty. I don't want it.
God. God.
I love his honesty.
I had my experiences with Warzone. I don't want this shit in my system. So
Taking up half your hard drive space.
yeah, it's like more than a half. So
But anyway, so are we going to move on to Battlefield 6 then? Yeah. So I'll go over to you, Ben, because you're, apart from early Battlefield, you're the predominant recent Battlefield YouTubers.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Battlefield 6. If we want to talk about what it could be or what it what it might be,
Or what we want it to be.
what we want it to be. We just want a fun Battlefield game. We don't want it. We don't want Battlefield 5 again. We don't want how they supported that game. It was terrible. I think there were some good things that I enjoyed, in all fairness, because I was one of the very few that actually enjoyed some things about Battlefield 5, and I did play it for quite a bit. I tried to get you on, didn't I, Devlin?
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the gunplay, and some of the gameplay aspects of it I did quite enjoy. Some of the maps were pretty poor. Well, pretty much all the maps, to be fair, were pretty poor in that game. But the content-wise was pretty bad. Hopefully, moving to Battlefield 6, we can improve upon that. But I mean, I hope that it's. I would hope for a Bad Company free game, in all fairness, because I enjoyed the.
Don't dismiss it just yet, Ben.
But I hope that it could be that. But there's been a lot of rumours at the moment saying that it's potentially going to be, say, Russia invading America. To me, that doesn't sound very exciting because it's been done a million bazillion.
It has been done to death.
And I'm just bored of this sort of Russia invade America. Oh.
Yeah, but and you know what pisses me off, and not just because we're friends with Chris. Yeah. It's always Russia, the fucking bad guy.
Always Russia, and I just want something a bit more interesting. But yeah, a Bad Company game would be quite good. That light-hearted humour. That the campaign might be a little bit better, but then. I don't know whether
they've never been good at campaigns, so have they? Battlefield.
I did quite enjoy the Bad Company series, but I don't think the people that worked on the Bad Company games are going to be working on probably the newer games. I think they've had a bit of a shake-up. A lot of people have left. So that, in all fairness, that's probably the big reason why I'm quite scared for the next game. Is I just don't think the people that worked on the other games like Battlefield 4 and stuff and Battlefield 3 when the games were good from Battlefield. I just don't think those sort of people are going to be working on the next Battlefield game, because I think a lot of people left from Battlefield 5, a lot of the developers, because obviously they weren't happy with
because that wasn't they didn't want that neither. I don't think
want it, but I always thought that, well, from the leaks anyway, they were saying that a Bad Company free game was meant to come out first. And then it was meant to be Battlefield 5.
Apparently. That's why we all know that game was rushed.
Well, exactly. But that's sort of the hope why I think it could possibly be a Bad Company game. But that was from a leaker called Almighty Dak, who recently kind of purged his channel and has stopped doing any sort of leaks. So it could be false and it might not be Bad Company, but fingers crossed it is. But I want a game that the community can enjoy again, because I started my channel around Battlefield and I
concentrating on Battlefield. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. I was concentrating on Battlefield, so I've always been a Battlefield fan. But after Battlefield 5, it just kind of
it proper got me disillusioned with the franchise.
But it's not. It wasn't just a small minority of us. It's pretty much everyone who played. Even people who even the EA game changers and what do they call them, DICE friends and stuff. Even I've seen recently they were saying Battlefield 5 is the worst Battlefield that's ever been made.
But initially, I'm not going to let you praise them, Ben, without saying initially they were saying, oh, fantastic, this is a brilliant game, where the normal people who play the game, the likes of me, you, Chris, Stealth, we said from the beginning, this is not good. And in all fairness, you give it more of a chance. I ever would have considered giving it more chance. Chris just basically told it to fuck off. And I give it a chance because you kept coming. It did.
I think I was in more denial. Like, I wanted the game to be good. And obviously my channel was based upon Battlefield. So I was like, fucking.
At that point.
Too, yeah.
But you moved on, and it's
moved on, yeah.
Locks, what's happened to your channel since you moved on?
Well, it was probably in hindsight, it was probably
the best move you made.
Yeah. So, but at the time, obviously, I was distraught that my channel I was like, oh, it's fucked.
God, I'm a Battlefield channel and look at this shit.
Exactly. And
How you doing, Stealth?
And I was like, well, we've also got a poor offer in here. And what am I going to do? What am I going to play? So I was kind of delusional in a sense, looking back. I was probably
And you wanted it to work so bad.
So I gave it all the time, and I kept coming back. And we got like the Pacific DLC, which was half decent. It was probably one of the better ones. But even that, it was just it could never have. It just never could fix itself. It was just that was it. Battlefield 5, once it came out, it was fucked from beginning, really. And even now, you know, you've finally got people like Westy and stuff, even though Westy doesn't really cover Battlefield anymore, but even he admits that Battlefield
he will.
Shit. Yeah, I know it'll come back again.
Yeah.
But even the big YouTubers are admitting now that Battlefield 5 was the worst Battlefield, and it is that it's just
it was. It was.
No one enjoyed it. We don't want to see it again. And if you're going to do a historical setting, at least make it look
just get it right. Fucking hell.
But I think the worst thing is that the trailer that they put out, I remember being in the
that was it.
and everyone was, we just didn't know what to do. We were all like
flabbergasted. You're like, what the fuck?
Remember before this, we were all saying, well, what could it be? And we were going World War II, and we were getting all hyped about it.
I actually did a video saying it's going to be World War II. How you doing, Jack?
Guys actually do, and then when it came out, we thought this wasn't the World War II game that we were all.
Jack's in the house.
Hi.
Hello, Jack.
Hello. Who's all there tonight?
Oh, we got Chris.
How you doing?
Hello.
Chris, Stealth, Ben, and we had Tactigamer, but he's
gone.
He's gone. He was driving.
Yeah.
He was doing it on the phone.
Hi, Chris, Stealth, and Ben. How are you?
I'm
good.
good.
I'm good.
Hang on, let me put this in there.
Are we sharing? Ooh.
What do you mean? It's only earwax, bitch. Love you. I'm going to get my head kicked in later.
Of course you are.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, to piggyback that point, I remember when we actually had this discussion months ago, and all of us came to the conclusion of just, why did you have to make up all of these stories and all of this crap?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the thing.
How I went on my rant about the telemark in fucking travesty that they put forward to us. Those people are still alive, for fuck's sake.
But it had to be a woman.
Story.
It had to bring in a woman just to, be politically correct and all that stuff.
I know.
The Polish Home Army, take your pick. There were hundreds of, if not thousands of women involved in organizations similar to those
that weren't heavily documented, because that's where they were going with Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Things that we don't really know about. There was so much they could have picked.
They took things that we did know about, like the telemark, and just completely rewrote the story. I would have much preferred if Battlefield 5 had been absolutely shit, but had gone with actual decent historical stories, I would stand by it and say, this game might be shit, but this game did it right.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Gunplay was awesome, by the way. I've got to say, the gunplay was actually decent.
They never really fucks that up outside of the instance where they changed the time to kill.
Yeah,
so
which they did in Battlefield 5, which was the worst decision. They changed the time to kill, which was the only thing that we liked. And
exactly. No, there's developers for you, so it's not just NWI. Chris, what are your views on Battlefield 5, mate?
Oh, it's a fucking travesty. It's an automatic travesty, you know. I did a fucking 7 rants on it, so why are you asking me?
No, but I mean, obviously we're going to see a new Battlefield, and we've all got our fingers crossed. I'm sure you're the same, Chris. But I know you didn't like the game. Is there any redeeming moments that you liked at all about it? Is there anything? Because the only thing I pretty much liked about the game was the gunplay.
That's basically the nail on point. The gunplay of Battlefield V, I'm calling it Battlefield V for the rest of my life, was on point. And the Wake Island, like all of that Pacific content, was just on point.
Because we played that when it came out. I remember we all went back on.
We played that, and that was, I think, the only thing I actually enjoyed out of Battlefield V. But besides that, like, everything is a fucking train wreck. And also, please, God forbid, don't introduce random deviation in Battlefield 6,
Oh,
Battlefield 21,
I know.
2021. Seriously, fuck Battlefield 1's gun shooting. Like,
I actually got used to it in the end. I got used to it, and it was a part of the gameplay.
Oh,
But
it's
I know exactly. I know what you mean.
because in Battlefield 3 and 4, you shoot, the bullet hits the target. In Battlefield 1, you shoot, it either goes in the sky, it either goes in the fucking mud, or hits the target not where you shot. For example, you have the barrel in his head, he gets shot in the foot. So,
Jakob, they could have gone with a lot of different settings, to be honest, in all fairness.
please, no more sweet spot. That's
Cheeky was saying about the ragdoll physics. I know.
the ragdoll, they should stay.
Fucking shit. So, should we finish off? I mean, we've been doing this for like an hour and 20 minutes at the moment. I just want to finish off with the debacle, which is Twitch. I don't give a fuck about Twitch. I don't care if I'm on there and I get banned. Have you seen the actual words that you cannot say on Twitch because you will get banned? I mean, instantly get banned. There's certain words that...
It's just crazy.
And that's for...
Sorry, go on, Devin.
No, I was just saying that's from someone who doesn't actually stream. That I was talking about you, Stealth. You don't even stream, but you think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm all for being respectful to people, but equally, I am all for free speech. And it's not impossible to do both of those things. Just be a decent human being. And also, I just find it absolutely astounding that a broadcasting platform is attempting now to censor its content creators in such a manner. I mean, we've already heard tell of some pretty aggressive enforcement of this. I mean, what the fuck happens if, it just comes up and then, boom, you're gone?
Exactly, and I mean, it's not just small creators, Stealth. It's any creator, and it could be someone in your chat that says something like, I'm going to say it, simp. If you say simp on Twitter, on Twitch, bitch. If you say simp on Twitch now, that's an instant ban, apparently. That could be someone who bases their livelihood on streaming. If they inadvertently say simp, or someone in the chat says simp, or it comes up on something on their stream that says simp, that's it. That's them banned. That's their career over.
Can I actually piggyback that point, please, Devlin?
Okay.
Because this is what I'm attempting to get at as well. For me to be saying the word simp, thought, I'm not going to go into some of the...
Oh, you can say fuck.
Of course you can say fuck.
You can't say fuck. You can't say thought.
I'm not going to go into any further examples of it, because I know some of them are genuinely offensive to some people.
Yeah, there is.
On Twitch, you can also, discuss language and the general lexicon of the English language. You can use these words in sentences and in conversations where they are perfectly valid, like we are now. We are not throwing around simp and thought for the sake of throwing around simp and thought.
No, just because it is the subject.
As concepts and as the meaning that has been assigned to these mouth sounds, if you will. And that can come up anywhere. If someone starts making a mention in chat of, oh, this dude did this or whatever, and then the streamer's attention is pulled to it and they want to discuss it as a topic, just because they have to then discuss that as a topic, and they say, oh yeah, this person was accused of being a simp, or this person has been simping for whatever, and then everyone suddenly asks the stream for their opinion or whatever, and the streamer says, I don't think they're being a simp or something like that. That was a very sexually aggressive grunt there, Devlin. That is perfectly valid conversation. You're not aggressively calling someone a simp, or you're not trying to insult.
Sometimes I do, in all fairness. Sometimes I do.
Devlin admits jerking on stream. You don't have to use these words in an aggressive or insulting manner. You can discuss them as words and as metaphysical concepts. Not all language is harsh and aggressive all of the time. Sometimes you are just having a discussion about something.
I know. Sorry, I was actually listening to you. It was getting quite soothing, to be honest. Yeah, I was like,
I found that quite soothing.
not as soothing as Tati. He's got a soothing voice.
Devlin, just don't listen to the recording of this while you're in the
No, yeah. Oh, fuck, no. No. Shit, no. I'll get moist. But no, I actually think it's so ridiculous. I mean, I've got a subject I want to talk just before we finish off the stream. But for a platform that obviously they are the big platform, they are number one. The likes of Mixer have closed because they can't compete with them. YouTube obviously is still here. But for them to turn around and say you can't say things like simp or thought because originally, well, exactly, but originally Twitch was a gaming gameplay platform, and now you've got these women that are doing naked body painting and all that. They get away with that. But someone who says simp or thought, or I won't say another word, but you know, there's certain things that they now can't say. Not that they will get a warning; they will be banned, full stop, from the platform. I just think it's gone too far, to be honest. And maybe I'm an old guy. I sort of lean to the right side. I'm not right wing, but I lean to the right rather than the left. And I think, you know what? Get a fucking grip.
I think this is something that does come about in modern society, which is unfortunately just a general disconnect.
The way of the world.
Yeah.
The way of the world.
It's just a general disconnect from how people really are, because we all know about the vocal minority, and what I think is that companies sometimes forget that the vast majority of people...
We're the majority, not them.
You're the minority.
The majority of people don't give a shit. And we also don't give a shit to make ourselves heard when we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, I've just had a comment on there. Mr. Cheeky again is saying, is there any way to make a gaming platform for gaming streams on videos? Look, this fucking excuse called Brime Live tried this. They were trolling the shit out of the internet, and I called them out right from the beginning. Look, Cheeky, it's hard to compete against the people like Twitch. And do you know what? I hate to say it, I actually buy all my shit off Amazon, and you know, Twitch owned by Amazon. You know, it's you need millions upon millions upon millions of pounds to be able to compete with the likes of Twitch and even YouTube. And you got this dick in his mother's basement trolling people on the internet, Brime Live. And you know what? It's not going to happen. I wish it could. I wish a big corporation had come out there and say, look, just for gamers, people who want to stream, they want to stream and game, and maybe have conversations with their subscribers and their followers, whatever. But Twitch is a fucking joke for me at the moment. I don't know about you lot, but I go on Twitch now and I see more naked ladies than I do if I'd go on fucking Pornhub.
That says a lot about Devlin's search history.
But I actually don't, in all fairness. I was saying that tongue in cheek. I actually don't. Yeah. But you know what? Twitch is not what Twitch used to be when it initially launched.
I remember when Twitch came out and it was massively pushed as this is
Bunch
a
of cam model
service.
And it's funny because Cheeky just said he's only 24 and he says the same thing. He's obviously in the age group that would say, oh no, you've got to be left wing and you've got to be a big snowflake. That's the most proper word I should say. Big snowflake. I know. A big snowflake about these sort of things. But there's a 24-year-old guy who's saying he's probably pissed off with the same thing.
Well, I mean, I'm 21, and I agree. So, you know, I'm in the bracket as well that I should be a lefty, but
I know. I don't think it's all anything to do with. Actually, I say it's not to do with politics, but it probably is.
Oh, it's definitely to do with politics. It's nothing to do with age.
No.
I mean, I've seen people who used to be, unashamedly left or unashamedly right. Now some of them are centrists. Some of them have gone even more towards their respective ones. Some of them have flipped even. It's just your worldview and how that changes over time. Because, I mean, I know way before I was of age to vote and such, I had a set of political beliefs that are completely contrary to what the political beliefs I have now.
I won't ask because it's not my place. But I know. You know what? I know where I am. I know exactly where I am. I think that people should be able to express their own views and opinions without being accosted, abused, or I suppose it's what's their constitution in America? What do they say? Is it the I know, but what's the one where you have total right to say anything you want? Is it the Second Amendment is it the second? I don't know. But you should have the right, regardless if it's something everyone doesn't like, you have the right to say it because you have the right to say it.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing, Devin. There's no such thing as free speech.
Because free speech always turns out to be hate speech by some other entity.
Someone will find something you do to be of bad taste or whatever. But,
I find that a lot on my videos, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's life.
Well, I
Fucking
just want to
live
say
in it.
we had a good win in the courts today in the UK. One of the
What was that?
Supreme Courts ruled that basically freedom of speech does include the right to offend. So he agreed.
Because it does. It actually does. And that's in the American Constitution as well. You can offend someone, but it is your right to have free speech. You can offend someone because they get offended. Exactly. It's not their right to be offended.
Yeah.
I don't even know how.
No, I agree. Freedom of speech has to encompass ideas that are potentially going to be offensive to some people, but offence is subjective, and it's all upon your set of beliefs and whether you agree or you disagree, whether you're going to find it offensive or not. So
and this is just looking at what Cheeky's just put up. Actually, he's desensitized to it, is what he says, and. Yeah, I agree with you because the point of being the point of offending and being offended is that it's another way to understand other people's views of the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you just box yourself in, you're fucked basically.
Expand your mind. You need to expand yourself
because you might disagree with someone. If you disagree with someone, then it's up to them to turn that on. Maybe it's not up to them, but it's up to yourself. It's up to them to make you understand what they're saying. It's up to you to agree to say, okay, I will try to see your point. And if you don't meet in the middle, then you say, right, fair enough. We didn't agree. Let's walk apart. But nowadays, it seems like if you don't agree with me, then you're
cancelled.
This sort of person or that sort of person, you're a racist. Look, the first time Devlin said, this sort of person or that sort of person. But yeah, you're either a racist, you're a misogynist, you're this or whatever. You're labelled full stop.
Yeah. And this is sort of what the ultimate point I was getting onto. I'm in quite a few Discord servers here and there, and I regularly get into. We have politics channels in many of them, and I regularly get into debates about this, that, or the other.
That's sad as shit, by the way.
Someone says something. Well, by politics channels, I mean like current news stories and shit. And people regularly voice different sides of different arguments and that. And I've recently had a debate over how I'm quite glad that we have an NHS as opposed to a privatized health system.
So am I, by the way.
And people come at me, Americans come at me and say, How can you applaud this socialist system that is obviously broken and you wait 9 hours for this, that, and the other? And I say to them, I give a very simple example, which is if I was to be on a set of drugs which were out there, which cost whatever, I can't remember, I did the maths, but essentially it came down
A lot of money.
I get my prescription so that I can live for £9 for 3 months supply or whatever like that in the UK. Whereas for you, for 1 month, you're paying over $300. That's why. And this is
That is totally valid.
we back and forth things like this because it's a mature, grown-up server. Well, several of them that I'm in. And we just discuss things like this, and that's the ultimate point. You offend, you are offended, and you learn.
Sorry, just Tactic Gamer. He said he says that you sound like the tactical Brit.
Yes, he does. We said that, Tactic Gamer. We've said that for months and months. We think he's infiltrating us. He does sound like Tactical Brit.
Honestly, someone with enough clout, get in touch with Tactical Brit. Get me and him in the same room, and I'll.
No, you don't need to, because you are, mate. You do it.
Tactical Gamer.
Just put a bit of echo.
He was slacking me off going
Yeah.
PC.
Right. Stealth, you're a bitch. You're slagging off Ben here. So I'm going to finish off because we've been doing this now quite a long while. I'm going to finish off with something that's quite comical in all fairness. So Jake Paul got me suspended off Twitter. The reason he got me suspended was the fact that I actually said him and his brother were deluded because they were both calling out Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, respectively. And so I said, basically, that's ridiculous. You are deluded. And so I said, well, it'd be the same thing as me calling out your father. In fact, I'd call out your father to a boxing match and I would bitch slap him all over the ring. And I got suspended off Twitter for 12 hours. I was actually gutted because I like going through the Twitter and all that. But I think that's quite sad that someone with that many followers, that big of an influence towards young people, would ban someone for doing something less than this guy would do himself. He was calling Conor McGregor the C word. He was threatening to beat him up. And all I said was basically, I'm going to bitch slap your father. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well,
I find it ironic that he makes an absurd comment that he's going to beat the shit out of this cunt of a MMA.
He said that, yes, he did.
Like, mate, fucking, if you're gonna
He was racist by going, you Irish.
if you're gonna make a comment like that, make sure you have some sort of leg to stand on, because sometimes somewhere someone you say that to is going to turn around and go,
Latest taxi.
all right then. Because fuck me, you make comments like that, you just look like a prick. Because I mean, in all fairness, Jake Paul, you're just a fucking funny haired dude on the internet.
Jake Paul and what's the other one?
I don't know.
What's her fucking
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. You're offering out Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. You are deluded, and I would bitch slap your father.
All they're doing is essentially just jumping onto some completely unrelated topic because, say, reasons. It's like, you have no reason to make these comments and to be here. You have a reason to express your opinion, sure, but you have absolutely no reason to go, oh, fucking fight you, mate. Because you get twatted. I'm not saying, don't challenge people to fights because you'd lose. I'm saying think about what you're saying before you say something retarded.
Exactly. Chris, can I ask you, you've been quiet for the last 10 minutes or so. Right, Logan and Jake Paul fighting Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. Your views, please.
It's just a clown parade.
Yeah.
I swear, but all of this clownade, even though, you take all this, imagine how much money they're making. Just
Shh. shitloads, mate.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm telling you, mate, they'll make so much money off this boxing
yeah.
hype. They can retire and not give a shit about anything else. So it's just a brilliant marketing move, I suppose.
Oh, exactly.
Like-
That's exactly what it is.
Why do you think I want to fight his dad?
Oh, shit. I'd actually pay to see that. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. If there was a sporting event where it was two funny haired men versus two,
Fucking hell.
I hope that the warm up fight is you and their father.
Oh, fucking, you know what? This needs to happen. I'm going to make this cunt happen. I am going to go for him at the end of the day.
I'm not gonna.
For an older guy, I'm fit as fuck, by the way.
I'm fit as fuck and I'll whack off on stream.
Now, I'll bite his... Look, at the end of the day, I'll lose in the ring, I'll bite his nose off out of it. It's as simple as that.
Bite his dick off.
Do you know what I mean?
Ow.
Yeah, I'll take your ears with me. But anyway, look. We've had a good stream tonight. I'm gonna call it quits. Yeah, I've had a good stream. It's been nice that we've had the regulars on tonight, and it's been perfect that we had our guest Tactigamer, guys. Tactigamer,
Awesome guy.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to Stealth Slicer 77. Chris at Chris T Gaming Zone, and Ben at North Cinematics. Cheers, gents. Thank you, and good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Stay safe.
And be nice.